Why would ovulation get delayed if you're very regular? Would that mean that your period is also going to be delayed? Yes. So if your cycles are very regular, that doesn't mean that you won't have any fluctuation within them. So sometimes the fluctuations would depend on like how sensitive your cycle is to different things. So common things that will push your ovulation would be like if you got sick, traveling, switching up your diet, getting more or less calories, switching your exercise routine, doing it more or less, starting any new like medication, then any like significant stress in your life, whether it's good or bad. And if ovulation is delayed, that means your period is going to be delayed because your period always follows ovulation. So you can't really get your period unless you ovulate. And if you do, this means it's like a withdrawal bleed. So like if you're on the birth control pill, you don't actually ovulate. So then this bleed that you're getting is just like a withdrawal bleed. So it's kind of like a fake period. And then also if you see bleeding, it could be due to like breakthrough bleeding, meaning like your lining has built up so much without ovulating, eventually it kind of breaks through. And the reason why your period follows ovulation is because that phase in between those periods of time is called the luteal phase, and it roughly lasts about 2 weeks because that's how long like the corpus luteum lasts. That's why it's called the luteal phase, because of the corpus luteum. And the corpus luteum is basically a temporary gland that like your body makes out of the empty follicle that the egg came out of, that you ovulated. And it's basically making progesterone for that half of the cycle. And once your body realizes that it didn't get pregnant, you get your period. And that's why it's like 2 weeks. So if you don't get your period and you have ovulated, there's not really many options other than the fact that you're pregnant. That's why it's really cool to learn to track your cycle, because once you know kind of where you ovulated, you'll be able to count the days until your period, because most luteal phases are around 12 to 14 days, but they shouldn't be less than like 10, because that means that you might not be making enough progesterone. And then if you want to get pregnant in the future, it could affect that. And also it could just cause a lot of PMS symptoms and stuff like that.